Today I'm going to share 3 stories of Korean celebrities I've met at random places. The thing about celebrities in general is they are just people like you and me. They eat, they drink, they shit, they have friends, they do all the activities we all humans do. So here are the 3 celebrities I have met in random places. I will give you hints and you try to guess who the celebrity is. Okay, let's start. First celebrity, you can see him a lot on TV. He's in a lot of shows, like more like variety shows, like comedy. He was born in Stuttgart, Germany. He's a Korean barbecue owner in Hongdae. He's famous for being a cast in Running Man and Infinite Challenge. Can you guess who I'm talking about? It's Running Man Haha. Where did I meet Haha? You know, I'm currently working out in a MMA gym doing kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, and then just one day I saw him walking in and taking lessons from one of the coaches. He's very humble. He's just like this everyday guy you will meet, and he's very fun. He's very fun. I've probably seen him around like 5 or 6 times, and I just acknowledged him like, hey. And because he also has like a bald hairstyle right now, it's like we have this bond. You know, you're looking at someone who also has no hair, like short hair, and then you look and it's like, yeah, okay, cool. This one time I was in the locker room. He came up to me and talked to me in Korean, and he was like, yo, Germany, I'm from Germany too. I was like, yeah, I know, you're from Stuttgart. I watch Running Man a lot. I was like, oh cool. And then he talked about his hairline, and he showed me his hairline. He's like, look at this. Yeah, and he asked me if I thought about doing a hair transplant. I was like, yeah, maybe I think about it. I was like, yeah, don't worry, I hook you up and then we connect. And he told me like, yeah, doing a hair transplant is like, it gives you a new chapter in life. It's like a new beginning of life. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah. And you probably as confused as I am, and he spoke Korean, and I'm not sure if I understand everything, and that's how the conversation went, and then he just left. I was like, what has happened? And probably I will meet him again in the next few days, probably, and then yeah, we can continue this conversation. I never directly talked to him previous times, like, hey, I'm a fan, this, that, right? I just acknowledge him, I was like, hey, I know you, and that's it. I didn't do anything. And then probably he heard from our coaches and asked about me, and then he went up and talked to me. So the next celebrity I met at a random place, she was or is in a very successful girl group. She grew up in the Philippines. She was an actress. Without this girl group, Blackpink would have not existed. You know who I'm talking about. To anyone, na 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 na, to anyone. 21 Sandara. I made a trip to the Philippines with my friend, and we were at the airport. We were about to fly to Vietnam, and we were there chilling, and suddenly I saw from very far, it's like, oh, there's like this very stylish small person, and I was like, I have the feeling it's a celebrity. I wasn't sure. It had like this Korean fashion, you know, this Korean fashion and style, and I was like, oh, very interesting. So I wanted to take a closer look, and then I walked closer, right? I walked towards her. I was like, oh my God, it is her. It's 21. And you have to know, like 2014, 21 was like one of the biggest girl groups at that era. They made world tour all over the world, headlines, and they made K-pop grow really big. Went up to her, hey, can I take a selfie? But the manager blocked me and said no. And of course I was young, I didn't have the respect to just see her, acknowledge her. So I wanted to take a picture, but well, I was just like, oh, maybe I can ask, right? And then I went back to my seat, told my friend, yo, I just met this K-pop girl group member. And he was like, who? Like 21. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was not as into K-pop as I am, but yeah, he was like, oh, cool, you met a celebrity, nice. And for me, it was like kind of a big deal, right? To board the plane, you sometimes have to take a bus. So I was in the bus, was sitting down, and suddenly Sandara was right in front of me. Like, let's say I was sitting like this, and she was like this far away, this far. She was standing there. And the only thing in between us was like the manager's hands like blocking her, right? And I was like, wow, I've never been so close to a celebrity. And I would just sit there like, cool. As it turned out, they had a concert in Vietnam, in Saigon. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. So I looked up the tickets and there were some left and I bought it. And the thing is, in Vietnam, the tickets were really cheap. It was like 30 bucks a ticket. So I bought for me and my friend and we went together and had a blast. I can't remember much of the concert, but yeah, it was just fun. It was fun. It was hot and fun, yeah. And here is the last celebrity I've met at a random place. He works in the film industry, is a very successful director, and just a few years ago, his film made 4 Oscars. You probably know who I'm talking about, the legend Bong Joon-ho. So I went to this cafe in my neighborhood, went in there, and suddenly I saw a person sitting facing the wall, like he was like this, right? So he has a really distinct hairstyle and it's not very common, but I couldn't see his face. But in the back I was thinking, it could be him, right? So I ordered, I sat a couple tables further from him. It was like maybe a distance of 5 meters. I was looking at him, he was working on something on his iPad, maybe drawing stuff, and I was like, oh, it could be him. Oh, but what does it matter to me, right? I'm not a filmmaker. If I would have been, I might have like a conversation, talk about stuff like films, and you know, I don't know what directors talk about. 2 women, they came up and walked to him, asked for a signature. I was like, oh, okay, it is him, right? It is him. My celebrity radar is right. In my head, I was like, should I take a picture of him? I was like, no, why should I take a picture of him? Just to show it to anyone? At least I have a story. It's more important. I have a story. I told all my friends. Like, they were probably sleeping in Germany, but it's like, hey, yo, I'm sitting next to Bong Joon-ho. And especially my friends who are really into film. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, because, you know, like, if someone is working and they get into a flow state, you cannot interrupt that. Like, he might be working on some great ideas and it's about to happen. And if I just come in at the wrong moment, his idea would be gone. And I would be responsible for his next movie to be bad. I was like, oh my God. And then he would go on interviews and say, yeah, I had this really great idea, and then this German guy, he came up to me and then it was gone. And then please deport him and shit. It was like, oh my God. So when you arrive in Korea, just keep your eyes wide open and you might bump into another celebrity. But you guess all the celebrities I have mentioned above? Leave it in a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And I'll see you tomorrow.